Governor Kotek is addressing President Trump's plan to freeze trillions of dollars in federal funding. Just how much of that funding goes towards the state of Oregon in a few minutes. Plus, new recruits in Josephine County finally getting the chance to play with fire. We'll take an inside look on the intense training for these new firefighters.
And this morning we're waking up to another very cold morning and we'll expect some mild high temperatures, but a change is on the way. We'll talk more about it in just a second.
Live, local, late breaking. This is NewsWatch 12 this morning.
Good morning. It is 6 a.m. on January 29th. Welcome to NewsWatch 12 this morning. I'm Brinkley Hill. Right now we're taking a live look at Wairika, this view from Rain Rock Casino, as we check in with Storm Tracker 12 meteorologist Sarah Kress. And Sarah, I just know it is so cold out there from that weather cam.
It definitely is cold, and it might be a little tough to tell in Wairika this morning, but clear skies across the region. Again, like the past few days, that is what's keeping us very cold as we're waking up this morning, but it is helping with those high temperatures to be rather warm. Still dealing with that ridge of high pressure. Again, that is our current pattern right now, but that'll be breaking down as we do head into tomorrow. I'll have more details in just a second, but current temperatures 11 degrees into Klamath Falls, 8 into Lakeview this morning. Medford 24, 14 to Montague, heading all the way over towards the coast, 36 at Gold Beach this morning. But planning out your day, like I mentioned, we'll have a cold start to the morning, making it up into the 40s by the time we're into the afternoon. And by the time you're heading home from work, it'll be up into the 50s. Going to need to shed off that winter coat, but when that sun sets, temperatures will drop rather quickly. Still continue to see clear skies throughout the night, and we'll see that through most of our Wednesday. But taking a look in the days ahead, we'll still be dry for most of our Thursday, but we'll see clouds begin to move in. But rain returns for our Friday. A lot of moisture is on its way. An atmospheric river making our weekend very wet. We still have a few details to work out with this system, but I'll have a look for you coming up in our next forecast.
As you just heard, Oregon and California are joining 21 other states in a lawsuit against the Trump administration. The state of Oregon alone relies on $38 billion of federal funding. Oregon Governor Tina Kotek and Attorney General Dan Rayfield addressed the funding freeze. The services impacted include health care, child care, domestic violence programs, law enforcement programs, and more. The governor wanted to remind Oregonians to continue to seek care. She says the services will be provided because the money in question comes back to the state in a form of a reimbursement.
My ask of Washington, D.C. is turn on all those systems right now. We can have longer conversations about all the analysis and other things you're asking us to do, but right now those dollars should be flowing to Oregon through the systems that are available for the reimbursement of services that we are providing to Oregonians.
Kotek says that when the government is not providing real-time reimbursements to the state, it's not upholding its promise set by Congress. A federal judge temporarily blocked the pause in federal funding minutes before it was scheduled to take effect. Oregon Senator Wyden also releasing a statement saying chaos is not leadership. Ransacking resources from Oregonians counting on federal support for local law enforcement, schools, small businesses, firefighters, veterans, and more hurts each and every community. My team and I are working overtime right now to hold this lawless administration accountable for trampling the Constitution and making sure that everyone depending on these funds aren't left in the cold. More details on this lawsuit against the Trump administration can be found on our website, kdrv.com. Onto a crime alert this morning. A Washington man now in jail for breaking down the door to his ex-girlfriend's hotel room, punching her, and then chasing her for half a mile. This happened at the Days Inn on South 6th Street in Klamath Falls. Police say that when they arrived, the suspect was accusing the victim of having outstanding warrants and wanted police to arrest her. The claims were false, and the suspect, Casey Lee Hood, was arrested. Hood is facing charges for attempted kidnapping, fourth-degree assault, stalking, and unlawful use of a weapon. Rural Metro Fire is focusing on equipping its newest recruits with the skills needed to tackle the unpredictable challenges that they'll inevitably encounter on the job. NewsWatch 12 Samantha Cadera spent the day in Josephine County, where she got a first-hand look at the intensive training process.
You know, every call is a little bit different, and it kind of keeps you on your toes. I feel like they do a great job of kind of making you think about what's going to come next and kind of how to apply the skills that we learn.
After classroom sessions on the weekends, these recruits head back to the fire station to practice what they've learned, repeating the drills over and over to build muscle memory for when the heat of the moment arrives.
So just having those initial kind of steps and what to do, and then also being able to kind of build off of that and like change it for whatever scenario you're in.
For some, it's a lifelong dream, and for others, it's the desire to make a difference in their community.
I originally started to want to become a firefighter because I was in a really bad car wreck when I was younger, and back then women firefighters were not all that common, but I remember this one who had come and she was there for me. I remember thinking after some recovery time, I was like, wow, I really want to help people in that way.
Honestly, it's been a lifelong dream.
The recruits must master their skills through rigorous drills wearing gear that weighs as much as 60 pounds, all while dealing with the heat and pressure of the situation.
It's just that feeling you get when you make contact with somebody in need and you're able to actually successfully get them to safety. That's like what it's all about. And our faces are red because it's hard. Like, it's hard lifting people.
And there's one key motto that guides their training.
You don't train till you get it right, you train till you can't get it wrong.
Don't train until you get it right, train until you can't get it wrong.
Don't train until you get it right, train until you can't get it wrong.
Reporting in Josephine County, I'm Samantha Cadera.
The Rogue Internet Agency Training Association has announced the dates for their Southern Oregon Wildfire School. This is an opportunity for local firefighters to get hands-on experience working with helicopters and using fire as a tool. Students will have the chance to communicate with and direct a helicopter for bucket drops. More details about the school are expected to be released soon, and we'll share those with you once it becomes available. And while we're in the thick of winter, ODF Southwest is focusing on New Year's fire season. Multiple positions for the upcoming fire season include entry-level and experienced firefighters, dispatchers, and detection specialists are all available. ODF says approximately 130 jobs in Jackson and Josephine counties are open. Both Medford and Grants Pass offices are actively hiring. The deadline to apply for all positions is February 28th. The Klamath Basin refuges have prescribed burn operations taking place southwest of Merrill. The South Central Oregon Fire Management Partnership, or SCOMP, says smoke may be visible because more than 700 acres are planning to be burned. They ask that the public do avoid the marked areas while operations are taking place. Tomorrow, the Board of Josephine County Commissioners hosting a town hall to discuss the new wildfire hazard map. The meeting is an opportunity for residents to learn more and share feedback about the Oregon Department of Forestry's statewide wildfire hazard map. It will take place tomorrow at 7 p.m. at the Josephine County Fairgrounds Pavilion. More details can be found on our website this morning. Moving on to our school watch. For parents in the Phoenix Town School District having trouble with basic essentials, the Community Care Corner is opening back up this week. This Friday from 2 to 4 p.m., families can stop by the Care Center, which is right next to Phoenix High School, to get food, clothes, and other essentials that they need. It's free for everyone who goes and shops there. The Community Care Corner will be open on the last Friday of every month through June. And this last weekend, multiple Grants Pass High School jazz bands traveled to Eugene to perform at the University of Oregon's Jazz Festival. And out of 19 high school jazz bands, the Grants Pass Jazz Band was named the best high school jazz band at the festival. If you want to see this band live and in action, the Jazz Festival is being held at Grants Pass High School Performing Arts Center on February 15th. Congratulations to Grants Pass's jazz band. That Jazz Festival is going to be the biggest fundraiser for the band coming up in February, and they'll have a silent auction and dessert from local bakeries.